Hi everybody, my name is Cheryl, and this is my contribution to the FlossTube collaboration round 3 entitled Favorite Fabrics. Listed below you will find the links to the 10 other FlossTube participants of this round who will also be discussing their favorite fabric. So be sure and follow the links below and subscribe to everyone and watch for their videos to be uploaded today, Sunday, September 1st, 2019. One of my favorite fabrics, and one of my favorites that I've had for years and years, is R&R Reproductions linen. Ann Robbins and Pat Ryan are the brainchild behind R&R, and I have been a fan for years. I was very fortunate to have met Ann and Pat at the Nashville market this year, so it was just a fangirling moment for me because I have been a fan forever. Ann and Pat started their business in 1993. Pat was designing reproduction samplers. Well, she was reproducing antique samplers, and she found that she couldn't find the proper color fabrics to reproduce those samplers. Museums are very picky about their reproductions, and it was very important that the reproductions be stitched on a fabric as close to the original as possible. Pat couldn't find what she needed, so she made it. Much the same with general arts. You see a need and you fill it, and that's exactly what she did. That's what entrepreneurs do. So, in 1994, they attended their first needlework market in Charlotte, North Carolina. They had with them a box of sample fabrics that Pat had dyed. The shop owners there went absolutely crazy over the fabrics, and R&R Reproductions was born. Today they have a retail space in Virginia Beach called Dyeing to Stitch. They've been in business at the retail place for 14 years, and they have been dyeing fabrics since 1993. They started out partnering with Norden Crafts, who supplied them with linen. They were predominantly 30 and 35 count. So if you have a 30 or 35 count, it's more than likely from Norden Crafts if you have that R&R. I do have some of that in my stash. So R&R is the first hand-dyed company in the United States, which is very exciting. They are the flagship of dyed fabrics. And Norden sadly went out of business, and now R&R uses a Zweigart base. So they do offer linen in 28, 32, 36, 40, and 46. 40 and 46 are their most popular. They have 150 colors. They have retired several colors because the dyes change. And if the dyes have changed, she can't reproduce the same colors. And rather than disappoint someone, they just retire the color and use what is available and come up with a new combination. They use cold water dyes, and they still use coffee and espresso to dye their fabrics, which is fabulous, I think. They distribute through Hoffman, and your needle workshop can get R&R fabrics through Hoffman. I would like to show you some R&R that is in my stash. I have stitched on R&R several projects, but unfortunately, I did not keep good records earlier in my stitching, and I have removed the tags from a lot of the fabric, so I don't want to tell you wrong. I don't want to show you a piece of fabric that's not actually R&R Reproductions, but I can show you what's in my stash currently and to give you an idea. Now, some of these colors may be retired because I've had them for quite a while, but it will at least give you an idea of what type of colors they use. Their fabrics are unlike any other, so let me show you what I've got. The first one I want to show you is a 32 count Americana blend, and this one definitely has some coffee dye in it. It's a 32 count, but look at that modeling. Now, I did some lighting comparisons, and the lighting is actually pretty good. You're going to be able to see a pretty good representation of the fabric. But this is Americana blend. And like I said, I'm not really sure if these colors are still available, so you'll have to do a little research and look. Now, this is a 40 count dark cappuccino, and it has some wonderful modeling in it as well. You can see it's very subtle, but it's beautiful. And this is one of the few 40 count pieces that I have. Now this one is a 30 count Kansas City blend. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look at this one. And you can tell, you know, the modeling is there. It's subtle. It's very prim and antique looking. And that's what I love about R&R. I absolutely adore that. This is 32 count carved pumpkin, and it says dark. So there may be another carved pumpkin, but this is the dark one. The modeling is just beautiful. This one is 35 count, so this is a Norton Crafts. This is roasted corn. Look at this puppy. Now this one's showing up a little more yellow than what it actually is. It's more of a muted yellow, but that just, oh my goodness. Now the last two, well, no, I've got this one. This one is Beach Plum, 32 count. I can picture a Halloween piece on that. It is absolutely gorgeous. Just gorgeous. See, you can tell. They are pretty true to color, so there's some wonderful modeling going on in there. Pat's been dyeing fabric for years, and she's got it down to a science. She is an absolute pro. Now this one, these next two I'm going to show you are two of my absolute favorite R&R fabrics. This is 28 count 18th century black. Oh my goodness. It's like a very muted antique coal color with some subtle brown running through it. Just gray, just, oh gosh. And see, I've held on to these because I'm so in love with them, and I want to keep them forever. But I do need to pick out something. And this as well. This is 18th century red. So this is from Norton. This is the only one that has the Norton tag on it. But look at this. Look at that goodness. Oh my gosh. Just yummy. That's a big piece. I've got some Christmas Quakers that I have considered over the years for this piece, so that might have to happen. But that's some of the R&R that I have in my stash, and I'm going to start using it, because if I use a piece, I'll have an excuse to buy more, right? Now they only dye linen, so just keep that in mind. Now, when I was talking to Anne, she was gracious enough to give me an interview, and she was also gracious enough. What I will do on my FlossTube on the 10th of September, I will announce the winner. The winner will receive a 20% off one piece of R&R fabric from Dyeing to Stitch. So in order to be eligible for that discount, which it's absolutely generous and wonderful of her to do that for us, the winner will receive 20% off of one piece of R&R. And she said that does include the special blends that they have dyed just for the shop that you can't get anywhere else. You can't get through Hoffman or any other supplier. You can only get those colors at Dyeing to Stitch, which is pretty cool. They have a Virginia Beach blend. I think they have a Dyeing to Stitch blend. So there are specific colors to Dyeing to Stitch. So what I need you to do in order to qualify for that drawing is to tell me what your favorite color of R&R linen is. If you're not familiar with R&R, you can Google it. Rochelle at the Cottage Needle also has a good supply of R&R. So be sure and Google and pick one that's calling to you and tell me what your favorite color of R&R Reproductions linen is to be eligible for that 20% off discount. So I appreciate Anne, I appreciate Pat, very, very much. And I hope that you take some time and look at what R&R has to offer and enjoy stitching on it as much as I do. So again, be sure and follow the links below to the other FlossTubers who are participating in this collaboration, and have fun. And until I see you again, happy stitching.